When my sister said she forgave our mother, I called the police. My sister Carla has not spoken to our mother in 8 years. She has a restraining order, a therapist who specializes in childhood trauma, and a promise she made to herself that she would never forgive that woman as long as she lived. So when she called me sounding cheerful and said, "I think I'm ready to reach out to mom and make peace," I did not hear a breakthrough. I heard a hostage. I kept my voice calm. What brought this on? I've just been reflecting on family and what really matters. I've been thinking about what mom said last time we talked, and I think she had a point. There was no last time. Carla has not exchanged a single word with our mother since the restraining order was filed. That sounds really healthy. I'm proud of you. I hung up and called her husband immediately. "Hey, is Carla home?" He sounded confused. "No, she left like 2 hours ago to meet some client for a freelance job. They reached out through her website with a project that pays really well." "Why? What's going on? What's the address?" He read it off to me, and I felt all the blood drain from my face because it was our mother's house. Mom had created a fake client and lured my sister to her doorstep. I called 911 while speeding down the highway at 90 miles an hour and told them my sister had been kidnapped and I needed units at this address immediately. I made it to the house in 9 minutes flat and saw mom's car sitting in the driveway. The front door was open. The dispatcher told me to wait for officers to arrive, but I hung up on her because Carla was inside that house and I was not going to stand in the yard while our mother did whatever she was planning to do. I made it to the house in 9 minutes flat and saw mom's car sitting in the driveway with Carla's car parked right behind it. She was here. The front door was open. I pushed it open and stepped into darkness. The lights were off, the curtains were drawn, and there was a smell in the air that made my throat tighten. Carla's purse was on the floor of the hallway with its contents spilled everywhere like she had dropped it in a struggle. I walked into the kitchen and found our mother laying on the floor. I felt her neck and didn't feel a pulse. And that's when I noticed the kitchen knife on the floor. My brain could not process what I was seeing. Mom's car was here. Mom had set the trap. Mom had lured Carla here. But mom was dead before Carla ever arrived, and someone had killed her. I stood there staring at the body of the woman who had made our childhoods a nightmare, and the only thought I could form was that if mom was dead, then who the hell had my sister? I heard a floorboard creak above my head. I grabbed a knife from the counter and crept up the stairs. Light was coming from under the door of our old childhood bedroom. I pushed it open and saw Carla zip-tied to a wooden chair with duct tape over her mouth, and standing directly behind her was a woman I had never seen before in my life holding a kitchen knife to my sister's throat. She had red-rimmed eyes and a face that was somehow familiar in a way that I could not place. "Who the hell are you?" I asked. She laughed and said, "I'm your sister, technically. Nice to finally meet you." She pressed the blade harder against Carla's neck until I saw a thin line of red. "I spent my whole childhood in foster care while you two got to live here and be a family. I found mom 5 years ago, hoping for some kind of explanation, and she treated me like garbage every single time I came to see her." I took a half step forward, and she pressed the knife so hard against Carla's throat that my sister whimpered. "Don't!" I froze. She was shaking now, tears running down her face. "I came here this morning to try one more time, and she laughed at me. 30 years she never once looked for me, but Carla gets a restraining order, and suddenly she's setting traps." The knife steadied, so I killed her, and then Carla walked through the door. She looked down at Carla, and something in her face shifted cold. "I can't let you leave, either of you. You know that, right?" I saw Carla's eyes lock onto mine with pure terror, and then Carla started thrashing and screaming through the tape as loud as she could. The woman grabbed a fistful of Carla's hair and yanked her head back to expose her throat and raised the knife. I grabbed the ugly ceramic vase off the dresser and brought it down on the back of her skull with everything I had. She crumpled to the floor, and I used the knife she dropped to cut Carla free from the chair, and we stumbled down the stairs past our mother's body and made it to the front porch just as the first police car came screaming onto the street.